Hey everyone, so this is my review of The Gifted, Season 2, Episode 2, called unMoored. And essentially what this episode is about is that Thunderbird goes to this mutant lawyer who he believes can help him get some information about the about the Inner Circle. And while it's going on, Andy and Lauren continue to have this weird shared dream that is evolving as time goes on, sort of. And Reed continues to hide his secret from everyone. And this was a really interesting episode that didn't really have a lot happen in it. It was more continuing to sort of set up things to come. And I don't really know how I feel about that. Because it did have some good moments in it, but it was really, really kind of a boring episode. Where everything with like Thunderbird and this lawyer lady and stuff was interesting, but I wish they would have done more on establishing their backstory between the two of them. Where it was basically just sort of blown off and explained of, oh, she showed up and said, oh hey, come help us with this mutant underground, help the X-Men with this. And then she like helped him with his drug problem and stuff. But I wish they would have gone into more detail with that, because it just seemed so out of place. And their relationship didn't make a lot of sense because it seemed like they absolutely hated each other. So, like, what was going on there? And I just didn't understand it fully. And that really, really bugged me. But then, I guess the one benefit is I'm very curious to see who this new person is that this lawyer gave to Thunderbird to help them out. I'm very curious to see what she will do. Then everything between Andy and Lauren and their whole dream sort of stuff was interesting, with it being confirmed that it is sort of more like a vision of the future or something like that, because it is a dream that both Lauren and Andy are having sort of simultaneously. So that's an interesting thing that I can't wait to see how that will play out in the future and stuff like that, to see if maybe they do have this sort of telekinetic bond that they could communicate with each other that way. But then, on the side of that, seeing how this dream both troubled Lauren and Andy was interesting, with Lauren still sort of dealing with the consequences of their actions and all the deaths and stuff that they've caused because of their shared powers. And her sort of not really knowing if she actually wants Andy back or not. And then with Andy, it was him sort of dealing with the struggle of what happens in this dream and him not really knowing how to deal with that. So that is affecting his powers and stuff. So the Inner Circle's struggling to decide if he still is loyal to them or not. And that I find very interesting. And I'm very curious to see how everything that Andy sort of set up and stuff will play into the future, with the Inner Circle finally discovering what's going on with him and them sort of manipulating him to use this worry and stuff as strength to make him more powerful. And then the whole sort of like test thing that they're going through, I'm very interested to see where that's going to play in the future, where he has to break through like all these different sort of walls that are made out of these different materials and stuff. And they need him to be able to do that to get to something, it sounded like. So I'm very interested to see how all this training that he's going through will play out in the future. And then the stuff with Eclipse and Lorna was interesting, with Lorna sort of dealing with all the new mother sort of stuff, and then Eclipse dealing with the fact that he's not there to help her. And him dealing with still the struggle of trying to decide whether or not Laura and the baby are still alive, or if they died. And just all that's really interesting, and it was fun with the sort of ending scene with Eclipse using this champagne bottle to shine a green light into the sky that Lorna just so happened to see. And then just overall, this was a really, really entertaining and fun episode that wasn't like that great of an episode, because like I said, it was just so much of setting up for things to come that I'm still kind of waiting to see what all this payoff is going to be. And that's really kind of bugging me, that there really hasn't been much in this episode. It's just setting up for stuff. So I really want a payoff in the next few episodes because it is kind of getting boring. So yeah, that's my review of The Gifted, Season 2, Episode 2, called unMoored. So yeah, bye!